Welcome back to my rabbit hole. We are back, and honestly, we need to talk finished objects. Okay, let's start. Honestly, just before I started this video, I thought okay, I definitely another video would be overdue. For example, my currently inked, but guess what? Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed because I have not been playing with my fountain pens a lot in the last few weeks. So there's nothing new to tell you. So we are doing another knitting and crocheting podcast, and I'm telling you about all the progress I've made because there's a bit. Okay, first, of course, starting with finished objects, and you can see one right away, right here in the camera view, is of course this cardigan. This is the hexagon cardigan by Kelsey Beckham, who is Passionate Kelsey here on the YouTubes. And wow, as I said in my last vlog, I think, or was it in my last podcast? I honestly don't remember. I wanted to concentrate my knitting time and crocheting time on two main objects, and one of them is this one, and the other one you will see shortly. But guess what? There's more to tell you than that today. Yes. Believe me, I've been knitting a bunch. Okay, so this is the Hobie Frutta yarn. It is a lovely colorway. As you can see, it floats from dark blue to light blue to dark blue to teal or tealish, to another dark blue to light blue again. So it's like a color gradient. I have a bit left, but it's not too much because I tried to use as much as I could and I made it very long. Okay, I'll show you. So I originally bought 8 cakes of this yarn, which are 100 grams a cake. This is the remainder of the last skein, of my 8th skein, and let me see if I can see. So this is a 4-weight yarn, if that says anything to you, if you know. This is made in Turkey by Hobie, and this is 100% cotton. It says Pima cotton on the front label. It suggests a 5mm hook, and it's 100 grams, 210 meters, so 229 yards, 3.5 ounces, and yeah, so you can wash it on 30 degrees if this is important to you. This is the color 7. I don't know what it's called, but you can look it up, basically. Yeah, right. So no, I don't want to stick it on the yarn. I want to stick it on the label, and that's it. Now, so as you can see, not a lot is left of this yarn. I basically used as much as I could. So when I first started, I thought I probably will not have enough yarn because I just couldn't imagine that. I think I was like here or so, like, because you start in the armpit and then you go around in a hexagon until you close it up on top, and I just couldn't imagine how much yarn I would need. And I had some hiccups throughout the process. I showed you a bunch, but I can tell you a bit now. So for example, I made some mistakes at the corner. I just crocheted around instead of crocheting a corner, so I had to go back several rows, and if you're quite far, that's a lot, right? So then the second hiccup, or the second thing that was hard about this, I didn't use the recommended yarn and the recommended hook size, so my gauge wasn't meeting up at all. So I basically crocheted and didn't really know when to stop. And so then I thought, okay, let's just measure it. And I measured from up here where the connection point is. I didn't connect by that point, and measured down here, and compared the measurements in the charts in the written pattern. So I was like, okay, I'm having like about 19, I think it was 19, oh whatever, I don't remember, and it's not important at all. So I was like, okay, shall I make it like this, or shall I actually rip back and like make it smaller, because I'm not sure if I'm having enough yarn or whatever. So I ripped back a bit, and now it's like a size small. So I of course have more rounds than Kelsey does in her pattern, because again, different yarn, different hook size, but I think it came out pretty good. Looking at it, it could have been a medium as well, and if I shall do this pattern again, I would do a medium just to have a bit of positive ease here. But as you can see, the arms are huge, so I thought like, nah, that's too much right now. So I wanted to do a small, but looking here now, and if I'm just like, you know, doing it like this, down here, you cannot see probably, here it overlaps a bit, but it could overlap more, I guess, right, for my taste. Okay, and so then I was like down here, and I had to do the cuff, and I thought like, okay, it should be good, it should be all right. So I did the cuff, I did the math, and it was just so big. You can see all of that in my last vlog. I was not happy about it at all, but I left it like this and did the second sleeve. And doing the second sleeve was way quicker than the first one, because I just knew what to do, right? I had done my mistakes, and so a couple of things that were new in the first sleeve weren't new anymore in the second sleeve. So I did that, and then I decided I want to do some decreases in the second sleeve and try out a different measurement here. So I did the decreases that she suggests. I also did some math holding the other sleeve together, and so on. And yeah, I don't like the look as much of these crocheted sleeves. I don't know, you can see where I stitched them together. It's not very pretty right here, right? It's like you can see it clearly, but well, it's my first rib ever. And it's the first time using this yarn, and I think I'm pretty proud of this. Then what was next? I added I think about 2 or 2.5 or even 3 cakes at the bottom to add length, and that went well. It just took a lot of time because it's long rows, in my opinion, with the yarn I used. And then I did some math, and I was like, okay, I definitely want to have enough yarn for the rounds here, and I wanted to do 3 rounds as the pattern suggests. Oh, by the way, the back, connecting the back also went really well. So connecting the back and adding the length was the least of my problems, right? The only point then was like, okay, I wanted to have enough yarn, and I wanted to use up as much yarn as possible so that I don't have as much left, right? So I did the math, and I was like, okay, if I have more yarn left, that's no problem, so I'll just go with it. I did 3 rounds. The hard part about this was like, I didn't know, because I've never done it before, how to turn the work in between the rounds, because the pattern says you shall like do 1 round, then turn the work, do the next round, and then turn again, so that the third round basically is a right round, so that you have like a right side then on the edge. And then I was like, okay, I have so much yarn left. And it's not a lot. Like, this isn't a lot. So I was like, I want to add more rounds. So I did 2 more rounds, and I maybe could have done another 2 rounds, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to rip back in the end, so I just left it at that. And I think the result is really pretty. What I have to show you are some details, because these are, I think, really pretty. Not this side, because there no, but the other side, right? The other side. I will show you this. Can you see? My camera doesn't want to show me, but I hope you can see. So this is the one corner, and back down. And it is so pretty, I think. It's really nice from both sides, really clean. The corner comes out pretty, and I finished with like a cluster of 3 and then did the rounds. Well, maybe I need to show you also the other side, because that is definitely not as pretty. As you can see, on the very end, I forgot to do a cluster of 3, and I instead did a cluster of 2. And then right here, I was turning my work, so this is not as clean, but still, I think nobody can really see it if they don't know, and I think the results are really pretty. Yes, I am really happy with this. The only thing I'm not as happy with, and I didn't know that, I thought actually that cotton yarn wouldn't peel or however you say as much, and with this yarn the fuzz is everywhere, like everywhere. I had this on for 1 day before today, so about, I don't know, 16 hours, whatever, and just at home, and I washed the clothes that I wore underneath. I hung them up just today in the morning, and the fuss is everywhere. So I need to lint roll everything I just washed, and I guess next time something that I wore with this goes into the wash, I need to lint roll that before the wash, because holy crap, I don't know if something else went wrong, if I forgot whatever, I don't know, no, I can't. It definitely looks like exactly this yarn that is just all over my washing machine and all of my clothes now, and on all of my freshly washed clothes. So that's a bit weird, I guess, but whatever. Hooray! This is also done, and you cannot even see the whole glory because it's so long. Oh my gosh. And I'm really happy with the outcome. The second finished object of I think 4 finished objects I need to show you today is this very pretty top I made. So this is, as I showed you before in my last vlogs and in my last podcasts, this is the Sabai top by Paula Strickt, and the pattern is amazing. I think I really like the pattern. I would also make this again, so shout out to the pattern, but I don't know about the fit. I'll show you. Okay, so this is my Sabai top. This is the finished objects. Everything is weaved in, all the ends are done, like it's totally finished. As you can see, it's a bit wide for me, I think, for my personal taste. I did the size that was recommended for my bust size. It was the size medium, I guess. And for me, like I just said, it's just a bit flowy. I'm not used to that. I'm normally used to more of a fitted look, okay? So what happens with this shirt when I'm having it on, I have not yet had it on for a whole day, so I cannot say something about that, but right now what I'm seeing is that the details I really like. I hope you can see, like there's this detail at the side. I think this is very good. Also up here, really nice. And down there, but because it's a bit big, I guess, or I don't know, maybe it's just the design, the front and back panel are connected right here, and that's kind of a low point because as you can see I'm having on a bra and a top and they're just showing and I don't like this. So what I probably need to do for this top, what I need to wear under it is a bra that is not showing as much, that is not as wide, and of course no top, but it's just, I just threw it over because I had something else on beforehand. So yeah, I really like it. I like the outcome, but I don't know. I like it, but it's not a 10 out of 10. I think for me it's maybe like a, I don't know. The process was fun. The process I think was an 8 or a 9. The instructions were really clear, but I don't like as much how it fits, how it, if I'm like, I don't know, moving, how it bunches up. In the photos it looked so good, like in the photos that are in the pattern, but for me, I don't know, it bunches up here because it rises up here, so I need to pull it down so that it fits correctly. And then if I'm moving my arms up, then there's, you know, it rises up and it bunches up here, and I don't like that as much. But yeah, the fabric is really nice. I like the yarn. I think it's real comfy. I can see myself wearing this on some summer days, of course only with a bra underneath and not with like a top as well. But yeah, this is the outcome. For this project, I used Sandnes yarn line or line, I don't know how to say that, and it is the color, I don't know, it's a real pretty red. As you can see, I have most of one ball left. This is not a full skein, but it's most of a skein. I think I only used it for a few rounds, like 5 rounds or such, because when I finished my 4th skein, so this is, I had 5 skeins of this, right? I showed you before. So there were 5 skeins, and whenever I finished my 4th skein, I was like, okay, I will just try it on with 4 skeins because then I can just move in a cord and put it over myself, and I just wasn't sure if I liked it. So what I did is I actually blocked it. And yes, this is my, I think, first project I ever blocked, because I'm never blocking my socks, honestly. Like, why should you do that? No, why? They're going in the washer anyways. Sorry, but no. Sorry if I offend you, right? But no, I'm not blocking my socks. But with this project, because it's such a big project and I knit on this a very long time, I blocked it with a cord inside, so I only had like a bit left, right? I had like a little stringy left on the bottom from the 4th skein, and I blocked it and then I put it on me. I think it's a bit too big. Yeah. That said, after 4 skeins, I was like, okay, I'm at the perfect point to do the bottom ribbing and to bind off the thing, and I did that, and that was a pretty quick finish. I did my I wove in my ends even before I blocked this thing, so that's amazing. And honestly, I cannot see any big mistakes. Of course I made some, I'm sure of it, but I cannot see them, and so that's absolutely amazing. Okay, be honest, do you like it? Write me in the comments. Maybe you have some suggestions. Maybe I want to do this again. I don't know. The pattern, as I said before, was really well written. I would definitely do this again, but not in a medium size, maybe in a small size. And maybe I could also connect the front and back panel a bit earlier. Yeah, I just don't know about the shaping of this garment on myself. I don't think with this fit I would have bought this, so it's amazing that I made it, and I'm glad I'm having it in my wardrobe now. I'm definitely wearing it in the summer. I don't know if it's possible to wear this summer anymore, because yeah, it already feels like it's autumn is coming, right? But it's a really nice project, and I'm glad I finished it, and I'm also glad I used the yarn I used. So I'm definitely happy with this one. The next project I don't have with me anymore because I made it for a friend, but I definitely am showing you a photo of it. So the next project is a little tiny amigurumi star. I used a tutorial. I don't know if I can find it again. If so, I will link it down in the description box for you. But basically, yeah, I just wanted to make a little star for a friend, and so I did. It was definitely a journey. I only had a few hours to do that in the evening before I met her the next day, so I didn't have the correct yarn, which, right, is amazing. So I just used the yellow yarn I had, which is 100% cotton. It is Drops Paris, and it's, I think, a 4 or a 5 weight, probably a 4 weight. So yes, it was fun to do this. I used a 4mm needle, a hook, I want to say hook for that, and my hands hurt a lot afterwards because I obviously didn't want to make a lot of holes in it, because if you stuff it, it will be a lot, it will be visible, okay? I think for my first amigurumi, this was really a nice project and it was nice to try out. I of course didn't have some stuffing, so I used some yarn scraps and some fabric scraps I had, so yeah, whatever. And then I tried by like sewing it close. I stitched it close with my needle with some single crochets, but then in the end, when I wove in the ends, I tried to hide some, like I tried to fill in some bigger gaps so it's not as noticeable. Yeah, it was a journey, but I'm really happy with the result, and the friend was really was happy about it, I think. You know, it's not about the result all the times, it's also about the gift. It's about the gifting process. It's about like, hey, I made something for you, and the time that went into it, and this alone can be appreciated. So it's not as important to make a perfect object in the end. It's more so that we show love and appreciation for the other person, right, in doing something for them. Yes, so this is a very little project, but definitely I wanted to show you because I've never done something like that before. So yeah, why not? And then last but not least, before I'm coming to my current whips, of course, I am having another finished object for you. And I think in my last vlog I talked about a little swatch, a little color swatch I did for some fingerless mittens, and you know what? They are done. They are done. Let me just check. Yes, you can see me clearly and the focus isn't bad. I hope so, at least. So these are the mittens I made. They're also for someone, so I will gift them to, I will gift these mittens to them next week. And I was just like, I want to have a self-made present for them. So this is opal 6-ply sock yarn and Meilenwelt, Lana Grossa Meilenwelt 6-ply sock yarn. I both have them from the Lieblingsgarn website, as well as I had the Sandnes yarn line from the Lieblingsgarn website. If you're in the EU, just maybe check out the link down below. I'm having an affiliate link for them in my descriptions. Yeah, maybe you want to. I'm just getting a small fee for that, right? I'm not earning any money pretty much on this channel, so maybe if you need yarn again, you can check the link out in the description. No, I'm not forcing you. Do whatever you want. Buy from wherever you want. So, but I wanted to show you these mittens because they are, I think, really pretty. I wanted to do the color work all the way down to the front, but no guys, I don't think I am someone for color work. It's a pain for me. It's so tedious. It's so tedious to take the one yarn and throw it over the other, and then see if the tension is right, that you are not doing it too tense, and it takes so long. And no, I just couldn't do it. So what I decided right in the beginning of the first one was I did the first cuff, not the cuff, you know what I mean, the ribbing, and then I did a bit of color work, and I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm definitely done. I can't do this again, and I cannot do it twice in like one pair of mittens. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't want anymore. So I did the next parts in just solid dark blue, and I think this was really good because I used the increases that I first learned in my Sabai top. So the right leaning increase and the left leaning increase, and I think the outcome is really pretty. I really like it. I don't have any holes in it. If I had some in there, some small ones, I wove the ends in the end, so that you cannot see it anymore. And I finished like this part, I finished this part, I wove in all the ends, and you know what, I'm so done with them. I'm so done with them. This watch was really helpful because I found out my gauge, and then I was like, okay, I'm not as far off the gauge that is written in the pattern, so let me just do this in the exact with the exact instructions, because these are not for me. These are for some bigger hands, and I hope they will fit the person that I'll give them to. But I think they will, and even if they're a bit loose, they will, with their first wash, shrink probably a bit. Like I said, I'm never even blocking my socks, so I don't know. But with washing, they went a little bit smaller, so that's fine. The only thing that I wished was that the this part here would be a bit longer. I would like my mittens to go like to basically my knuckles here, and not just till my knuckles here. How do you say? Help me out there, right? So I would have wished they would be a bit longer, but I just used the pattern as it was and didn't change a bit, and I'm really happy with the outcome. I think they look pretty. I think I did a decent job at weaving in my ends and changing colors, and so they're definitely not perfect, but as I said with the little star I showed you before, it's not about the perfectness of an object, right? They will keep hands warm, or at least warmer than if there were no mittens on them, right? So that's good, and they look quite pretty. I really like it. I like that I branched out a bit and I tried some color work, and now I know it's not as much for me because there's too many ends to weave in, guys. There's just too many ends. And you will laugh at me saying this because, yeah, my next projects are with even more ends to weave in. Okay, let's talk about whips. So, as I've shown you before, I am having two blanket whips. I'm thinking about some different other whips right now, and I'll talk about these in the end of this video. But let's start with my current true whips because they are started basically, right? So first we are having my Scraptastic scrap blanket. And it's getting bigger, right? It's getting bigger. This, I don't know where I was last time I showed you this, but basically I'm using sock scraps, and then I'm also using sock yarn for this held double with a 5mm hook that I don't want to use for socks because it's a bit too scratchy for me. So this is my current status. I printed out the plan I have until now on a piece of paper, paper, because I wanted to remember and also sit on my couch with this. And as you can see, when the moment I printed it out, probably it was right after our last chat, I had like this part done, and then I also did some other things, I think yesterday or the last couple of days. So yeah, this is where I am. For this blanket I will need a bunch of more yarn, but I guess this is a long-term project, so we will see where it takes us. I cannot just do this and this and this part and this part because I'm joining as I go. And so with every square I'm making, with every granny square, I'm basically joining it in immediately while I'm making it. So I can definitely not make it like, oh, here I'm having 5 of them and there I'm having a few of them and then afterwards I'm taking them together. No, I am putting them together as I go, so I won't have any work in the end joining them. But that also means that I cannot do like work forward and do, for example, this part and be done with this part. No, that's not how it works, right? Because I'm joining as I go and I always need 2 sides open for that. So I only can go this direction right now and then like this and down here. So as you can see, the only options I have right now for joining more squares are 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I wanna join in more, I need to finish off another skein or decide to also use a different yarn for it. And I don't have any scraps right now of other yarns. So right now this is my progress, and I'm having 4 more squares to join in, and that's it. And then we will see when our next socks are finished, right? Yes, talking about socks, we will come back to to that topic later, to socks and sock yarn. So let's first talk about my other blanket. As you know, I have bought these Cotton Kings Sultan cakes, I don't know, a while ago from Hobby, and it's going slow. It's going very slow. I think since we talked last time, I've done 1 or 2 more of these Sunburst Granny. They're not squares, circles. And I'm using a 4mm hook and it's going so slow. So basically this is the project when I am having nothing else to do. As I said before, I have focused my attention. I have focused more on the other projects, as you saw the finished objects beforehand, so that I'm getting something done, and then that my list is going to get smaller, right? Because that feels good. Accomplishing something, finishing something, that absolutely feels good. But that means right now that I'm only having 2 whips, and I think actually that I need to start another one because first whip I cannot take with me in a cafe. Second whip, I don't want to work in a cafe. Hi, editing me. Why do you see me? Well, I actually, just when I wanted to finish editing my video, saw that the last clip wasn't filmed until the end. I'm having some hiccups with filming lately because I'm trying to use my face, not my face camera, like the other camera on my phone, so that you have better quality. But as you can see in this video, that didn't work out, the whole process. Like, I'm so sorry for yeah, all the blurriness, etc. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. So what I wanted to say in the end is that I wanted to start a new project because I was meeting a friend later, and I just wanted to work on something with them. And what I had in mind at that time was I definitely wanted to start some new socks because yeah, just because it was the most reasonable decision to make. But yeah, I didn't in the end, spoiler alert. So I hope you had a wonderful time watching my video. I'm so sorry for all the hiccups I had during this filming process, and yeah, this video isn't my best, but I still hope you had a good time with me. And if you had, so thank you so much to dedicate so much time watching my video, and I'll see you next time again with better quality, I hope, and yeah, other exciting things. As you can see, one last thing, right now I am having my sabai top on right now. I really like it. I'm having it on for the second time. Today is another sunny day, so I thought it would be the perfect time today, and I like it. Like I said before, it's a bit too big, and I definitely don't like that it's so loose under the arms, and you can basically see inside the top, underneath the top from the side. But for some casual sunny days, it's a very good top. So I hope you're having a good time as well with your hobbies. I'll see you soon. Bye.